I'm now recording you. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it is 6 o'clock in the morning and I am just up in the car, just about to drive to the airport to go to Copenhagen. So super excited to go see my Danish and Scandinavian network marketing friends. We're going to literally go in there for less than 36 hours. So excited to take you on the journey with us. So let's go. Okay, so just got to the airport now, going to head into the terminal, but it's a funny feeling, right? Because usually when you go to the airport, you're excited, you're buzzing, you're going on holiday and stuff, but when you're me, like, you literally travel so much, you go into the airport, it's just like going to a bus stop or a train station. It's just absolutely crazy. So I'm excited to go see everyone, not necessarily excited to go on a plane, because the more I travel, the more I get scared of flying, which is a bizarre feeling, but I'm excited to go see everyone, so let's go. Okay, so just got to the hotel in Copenhagen, quickly got dressed, and now gonna head down to the meeting room. First up, we've got a leadership training, then a short break, then part 1 of social media training, and then part 2 of social media training. So super excited to go down and see these guys. I've got a real special surprise for them, and I'm gonna take you with us, so let's go. No, it's funny because I went to leader school, and I'm not someone who just kind of like, because I know some of the other speakers who might have come to the different events, they're told, right, you're on at 3 p.m, so they kind of go see Oslo, and they kind of come into the meeting at like 2:30, and then they do their talk at 3 p.m. till like 4 p.m, and then at 3:30 or at 4 p.m, they then go back into Oslo. I'm not like that. I'll explain to you a little bit reason why, but I've, on one of my, does anyone have like a travel list where they want to go to like Fiji and Bora Bora, and anyone got any interesting places on their list?
New Zealand. Yeah, Bali.
New Zealand? Bali? Bali, right? March 20th. Yeah? Okay. Well, anyone else?
Canada.
Canada? That's cool. Which part? Any, all of it? Yeah? Yep.
Indonesia.
Indonesia, Bali, right? Yeah. Japan, nice, sushi, that'll be fun. Singapore, right? So, cool one. So, all these, Liverpool. So when I was building online, 1 out of 10 people said to me, yes, it's for me, right? So let's say Tim says, let all these people say no, Peter, he'll say yes, right? I got $50 when someone said yes. But then I was sitting there, I was thinking, if I was to tell my team, go and speak to 10 people, get 9 people to tell you, no, definitely not, and I'll give you 50 people for the 10th person you speak to, they're not going to do that. Because the rejection is worth way more. Way more. So I decided, okay, if it takes me 10 people to get to $50, then that means every time I speak to someone, regardless whether they say yes or no, I get $5, right? Yeah. So I just got into the mindset of, right, spoke to Tim, that's $5. Pia, $5. Peter, $5. Mete, $5. $5. John, $5. Husband, $5. Lugan? Yes, $5. Rasmus, $5. Eva, $5. Right. Now, if I was to say to you, go out into the streets of Copenhagen, go to the Little Mermaid and see those people who are watching the Little Mermaid, go speak to one of those about your product or your business, I'll give you $5. You're still probably going to go, no way. Because if someone says to you, no, you go, oh, it's not worth the $5. But this is what happens. The longer you go on, the more you do it, the more money each no becomes. And what I mean by that is, I connected on Facebook with 12,000 people. 12,000 people. Of those 12, and this is basically someone added me, or I added them, and I'm going to show you how you do that in a minute. And I basically connected with them. 4,000 of those people ended up saying that they were open to having a look, right? So and basically 4,000 people gave me a yes or a no. So 4,000 people gave me a no, but I'm not going to write it down, but it was a 7-figure sum. It worked out at like $400 plus per no. Now, if I was to say to you, go out into Copenhagen, go to the Little Mermaid, and go and ask someone if they'd be open to the business or the product, and if they say no, I'm going to give you $400 in 5 years' time, would you do it? Yeah, right? But too many people look at right now and not in the future. I want you to ask yourself this question. You've got visionaries and you've got goal setters. You can only be one of them. Now a goal setter who goes, I want to go director and go to Bali, and I want to do it by the end of the year. Is it the qualification end of the year?
October.
Okay, wow. Okay, you've got to get it done. Right, so I want to go director to go to Bali by the end of October. Right? It's short term, there's always a deadline. That's a goal setter. A visionary is someone goes, I've got this mission to change people's lives by bettering their health and wellness. 10 years, 20 years from now, I will have created a movement with hundreds of thousands of people who have got better health and they've got under 3.1 ratio, right? They haven't lost their little password code thing. Right? You can only be one of them. Which one? Who's a goal setter? Right? It's good to be either. It doesn't matter, right? And who's a visionary? There we go. Now the visionaries need goal setters in their team because you need people who are focused on the short term. A lot of action short term will create the long term mission. But the goal setters need to be led by the visionaries. Because if you're always short term, you can never see your potential years down the line. Visionary, I'm a visionary, right? I've got this vision for the future. Because it doesn't matter what happens to me. It doesn't matter if it's a good day, a bad day, a really crap day. Does anyone have one of those days? It's like, well, why? I don't deserve this. Yeah? Or a really awesome day where you're like, everything's going right. Right? Not so many hands go up on that one. Like, no, I'm still waiting for that one. Right? Please, today, come on today. Right? But when you're a visionary, a proper visionary, doesn't matter what happens day-to-day basis. So it doesn't matter. 10 years, 10 years, 10 years. For this to work, you've got to make the decision, I'm going to do this business for the next 5, 10 years. Doesn't matter how many no's I get. Doesn't matter how many no's my team get, because I'm going to be getting the $400. So I challenge you, from now on, every time you get a yes or a no, little tally. It has to be on your bed. You know, little notch, like a little 1, 2, 3. Now your partner might be thinking, is that what you've been doing? Is that what you've been doing in your home-based business? Hang on a minute, right? But I want you to tally them all up. And in 5 years' time, you'll message me and say, Frazer, I have earned X, and I've got this numbers on my tally. You were right. $400 every now. You know what the funny thing is? Let's go 30 years down the line. I'm telling you what's going to happen, because I've seen it all happen. Both myself, but someone who's been in the industry for 31 years. I don't know Big Al. Okay, Big Al can probably tell you this more than I could, because he's been around for about 5,000 years. Love you, Tom! Right? So, my dad, right? 15 million in commissions, right? I asked him, how many people have you heard the word yes or no from? And his number, I've got to get this right, because anyway, it worked out at $1,500 per no. The longer you stay in the business, and the more people you get a yes or a no from, regardless what the answer is, the more money you'll make in the long term. But too many people go, I've done 40 hours this week, 37 hours, the average working week in Denmark. I've done 37 hours this week and I made 120 euros. And then your partner goes, how much have you made? 120. Oh, you should go get a job at the shipyard because you'll make more there. Yeah. Right? I want you to remember this. If you don't remember anything else that I teach you, in network marketing, in the beginning, you do a lot for a little. But in the end, you do a little for a lot. That's just the way it is. It's not a linear thing. It's not 40 hours, there's my paycheck. 40 hours, there's my paycheck. If someone said to me at the beginning of the year, Frazer, this year you're going to make 25,000 euros. Honestly, I'd jump off a bridge. I couldn't stand that. Why should someone determine how much I make a year? I should determine how much I make a year. And that is determined on how much people you impact through the products. All right? So last night was absolutely awesome, packed out crowd. It was just a ton of fun, but when we were in a break, I was outside, I was speaking to some of the people in Denmark, and I set them a challenge. So at the break I said, like, hey, for the next 10 minutes, go and do this, A, B, and C on social media. And they really struggled with it because, well, this group outside really struggled with it because they believed that the mindset of their country, the mindset of their kind of average person they would speak to in Denmark, they would not respond the way that other people around the world would respond. And it reminds me of that question of people kind of saying that their market is always the hardest market to build in. Like, oh, well, I'm in the UK and it's really hard to build a business in the UK. I would love to have a team in America. And the Americans go, oh, the Americans, it's saturated. You know, I would love to have a team in the UK. And the guys in Italy want a team in Germany, the Germans want... Everyone's market tends to be the worst. Everyone thinks the worst of their own market because you are that person and you think, well, if I received a message like that, I wouldn't respond very well. But it's a numbers game. You have to work through the people. Everyone's market is the best market to build in. The best people to build a network marketing business with are your neighbors because you can literally hold their hand to success. When I built my organization over in Kazakhstan, I had to get on, like literally spend a whole entire day with the jet lag, another day, there and back, 4 days of traveling in jet lag, right? To be able to go and build a business. So my point is, don't ever prejudge what people are going to think because if you prejudge, you'll do nothing. And taking one step forward is way more worthwhile and better than you taking 1 year or 1 week or 1 month or even 1 day thinking about taking it, right? Activity will get you out of being unstuck. So it's fun being in Copenhagen. I've literally flown in and gone into meeting rooms and done different events and stuff. So now I'm going to go into Copenhagen and go see the sights. So I'll see you in a bit.